So basically, first off, with regards to my drawing, I'm no artist whatsoever, but I prefer my story to my artwork. So basically, I call this Broken Minds, and this is a very small segment of a very long story, so there's not much you could tell what's going on here. So I decided to give it its title and its end, and it basically, this is set when he is asleep, well, me, asleep in bed. And basically, every night he has these occurring nightmares of him sat in a dark room chasing someone and never catching him. And one night he's chasing him and he hears a loud bang and a big white flash, and suddenly this figure in the distance has stopped completely. He starts wondering why and starts chasing after him. Once he grabs a hold of this figure, it turns around and he realises the figure is himself. Shortly after he sees this, a second white flash has occurred, and when he comes to, all he can see is blood, a slash, and then his own voice yelling no. As I said, there's a very small segment taken out of the story, but the story itself is a very elongated piece, set in a very near future, set after me. I tried to occur my own life into it in a way of it's set as a regular guy who goes into a college, he does very little things, he's very mundane, sits quietly and does his work, but he has a second life, what he even himself doesn't know about, of a second persona of, I guess you could say, a schizophrenic person, a second personality that is unknown to him, that basically goes out and is a vigilante. As a reference, I decided to take things from two different things. I decided to take one from the Batman as a very dark figure, very mysterious and very not rich or powerful, but just that whole no one would expect him to be what he is in the second life. And another one I decided to take from is called Tokyo Ghoul, which is about a guy which is anime, which is about a guy who basically becomes a villain slash hero through a series of events, and he doesn't like what he has become, so he starts going through all these different emotions of trying to kill himself and stop himself from doing this stuff, but eventually losing his way, which I wanted to occur into this. He starts to notice what's going on and he doesn't like it. He starts to have all these psychological battles with himself and tries to cut it out of him and just keeps on. I wanted it to be a very psychological story of someone's battle in his own head that no one could really understand around him. That's pretty much as far as I could have got in a short time, but as I said, I can't really progress it through artwork as I'm not an artist.
Okay, so what in the 24 hours of your life is incorporated into your story?
The whole story this is just a people, as the whole story, it's set within the very start of the main chapter, which is called Beyond My Thoughts, and it's basically, from my life, it's just it starts off as a regular day. He gets up, he has a shower, he gets ready for college, and he heads off and he goes through this half-ruined city all the way to his college in this new part of the town, and he goes there and he lives out the very first half of the story, he just lives out his life. He does what I would do in my life. He'd play games, he'd speak to some friends, he'd do his work, and then he'd go home. But that's as far as it goes in that respect, because then I tend to over-exaggerate it, as then he has this second personality inside him that then comes out and starts doing all this vigilante stuff at night when he's asleep and he has no idea what's going on, because as far as he's concerned, he's trapped inside this dream, meanwhile his body is doing stuff elsewhere. That's as far as it goes in incorporation of my life.
Okay, question please.
You talked about, your character having nightmares and stuff. Can you relate to these nightmares? So is that where you maybe got an idea for that, your nightmares?
I do tend to have occurring nightmares, but nothing major. Oh. A lot of it's taken from my earlier life, so...
Okay, one more question please. Aidan?
Is this related to you in any way, other than like the first half where it's based on your...
As I said, it's more related to me when I was a little younger, and I used to have a lot of difficulties and stuff like that, and I used to have a lot of trouble relating to people. I was very quiet, and I used to sit in high school, I just never talked to anyone. I used to talk to myself. I used to have a lot of personal difficulties, and I decided to take from that and kind of exaggerate it into this whole new world of, instead of having these little me talking to myself, it was a whole schizophrenic thing, and You know, there was a lot more in the way of I was a vigilante instead of just someone sat in a classroom. I just wanted to take that and just make it into this whole amazing story arc of this person struggling with his own mental difficulties.
Okay.